Hey, welcome into the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. This is week 7, and this is the live Q&A start, sit, stream. We do this every single week, so if you're here as a first-timer, go ahead and leave a like and put your questions in the comment section. We're going to let people get in here first, and we're going to go through some of the news that's transpired today. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, Landon, I'm so sorry. I should really introduce you. This is my co-host down below, Lando. You can get him at Lando_FF on Twitter. He is the star of this show, and I'm just here to sort of point fingers and keep people on track. Lando's the real star here. My bad.
You're trying to steal my stardom, my shine, Matt, but it's not going to work.
I'm sorry.
It's not going to work.
Yep, I'm. Look, if this could just be all about me, I would love it, but it's not. It's really not. We've got some news today. So, from a scheduling standpoint, the Seahawks and the Cardinals got moved to Sunday Night Football because the Raiders had some what seemed to be COVID concerns with their offensive line. Everything's come back negative as of today, so that game should go down. But I mean, COVID news seems to be low right now, which is a good thing, right? Sometimes no news is good news. So from that perspective, it seems like all games are a go today. No rescheduling, no movement, and that's good.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. I think it's going to be a fun week for fantasy football this week. The big news for me, Mac, not to kind of jump ahead, but Joe Mixon is out today and considered week to week with an injury. He's in jeopardy of missing next week as well versus the Titans, and then they have a bye week. So I don't think they have any rush
to get Joe Mixon
bring him back.
That's fair.
So tough news for Joe Mixon owners. It's been a roller coaster ride for Joe Mixon. Hopefully you have Gio Bernard on your team. Travion Williams may be involved. It'll be interesting to see. We both have Gio as a kind of a fringe outside, maybe a flex spot. I think he's in a decent spot.
Well, you do. I don't believe in him.
No, I think Gio's okay. I think he's going to be used in a lot of DFS lineups this week. A lot of other experts have him as a locked and loaded top 10 running back, and I think that's a little bit crazy.
Oh, yeah, no, that's crazy. I mean, Joe Mixon himself, the more talented, the more accredited back, doesn't warrant that respect for me on a week-to-week basis. So I don't understand how now the backup to him warrants that just because of the opportunity. I mean, Joe Mixon's had the opportunity and not been able to do much with it. He's had one game where he's popped, and that's been it. So I don't have a whole lot of faith in the Cincinnati offensive line to create for Gio Bernard. I understand Gio's got a higher floor than potentially Mixon because of his pass-catching work that Zach Taylor just seems to think that he deserves. So I'll agree with you that maybe he's a safer play because he's not going to give you zero. But I don't think he has the home run hitting ceiling of Joe Mixon. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the big news today, that's going to be Aaron Jones. And as fantasy owners, we just want to know if he's playing or not. We want to know if he's going to get that workload that he always gets. So he's banged up, but he will attempt to play. The player wants to play,
of course,
and they're going to let him attempt. However, what do you do with Aaron Jones, Mac? What about Jamal Williams if you own him? A lot of people picked up A.J. Dillon as well. What do you do with this Green Bay backfield as the resident Green Bay fan among us?
Right here, baby. If I own Aaron Jones, which I do, I am going to sit him down today. I know that he traveled with the team. He's present. It looks like he'll suit up, and he's going to try. Given that Green Bay has already had their bye week, I don't think there's any need in a soft matchup against the Houston Texans for Aaron Jones to play today. And really, it's a telltale sign of what they have in their rookie second-round draft pick in A.J. Dillon. So I think Jamal Williams is capable enough to at least produce on the ground and give this offense what it needs on the ground. And then we'll see what A.J. Dillon has in store. I mean, he's looked pretty good in the limited work he's had, but I don't think Aaron Jones needs to play. He might try for a couple series, but if the game script goes in a positive direction for the Packers, which I believe it will, Aaron Jones will not see the field because why risk it? For a team that is 4-1 with a soft matchup against the Texans, there's just no reason for Aaron Jones to be on the field if they're winning.
Totally. We will keep you up to date with all the news coming in. So if you stay on this channel, make sure you get all your start-sit questions answered. We will get to all the questions in the comments very shortly once we finish all this news.
On the positive side here, DeAndre Hopkins is in, so is Julio Jones, as well as Justin Jackson, the complement to Josh Kelly there in Los Angeles. Questionable right now, like Landon said. We'll keep you up to date on Aaron Jones. Jamison Crowder is out. I believe he just trended out. So at the time of creating this, he was questionable. But Denzel Mims has been activated for the New York Jets. So it'll be his season debut. It'll be his NFL debut as a rookie. And it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. Brashad Perriman is a really decent play, I think, in a flex position with Crowder out. Robert Tonyan for the Green Bay Packers is questionable. We don't know if he'll play or not. Curtis Samuel is also questionable as well. And then the big news, Lando, which has kind of set our channel ablaze this week. Over 110 comments on this video so far. What should people do with Michael Thomas given that he is out this week and trending to be out next week against the Bears in Week 8?
Man, what do you do with Michael Thomas? So if you own Michael Thomas and are winless or have one win to your record, I think it's a great time to try to sell on the capital in the name of Michael Thomas, because you could still get a lot for him. Now, if I was buying Michael Thomas, I could probably wait.
Sure.
You don't need him this week. And if he's out next week too, I mean, there's no point in trying to acquire him next week when he's already out. But there will be the fantasy owners that want to jump on the big name and are ready for a playoff race and have a ton of depth, and they're willing to trade for him. And as an owner that's winning, I get the understanding of trying to trade for Michael Thomas.
Small flex there.
Well, I mean, we should be. We're doing this for a living, my friend.
Not yet, but close.
Yeah. So you if you can afford to get Michael Thomas on your team, he was the 101 of wide receivers for a reason. He was the best in the league. He got the reception record for wide receivers, and nothing has really changed except for the fact that he's been banged up and injured. I think he's going to come back to be himself, and he's a league winner if you can.
The problem is, can you wait? If you're a team with a sub 500 record, can you wait for Michael Thomas to be back on the field, to be an elite level piece for your fantasy team? And I think for most owners, that time is wearing thin. And I've seen on that trade video, I've seen a lot of people say, hey, I'm getting Allen Robinson and Antonio Gibson. I'm getting Allen Robinson and Joshua Kelly. I'm getting Kareem Hunt and Cooper Kupp. I think those trades are all really good examples of 2-for-1s that you can get Michael Thomas. Like you can involve Michael Thomas in and get 2 depth pieces that can help you in this downtime. So that's what I'd be doing if I'm a Michael Thomas owner. I am only an owner of him in Dynasty, so I really can't tell you what I've been doing with him, but that's what I would do. Before we get to some questions here, John Brown and Emmanuel Sanders are out. Sanders has been put on the COVID-19 list. John Brown has an injury. Austin Hooper had surgery. He is out for the next couple weeks. Sammy Watkins is still out again this week, and Raheem Mostert placed on IR. He'll be out for 3 weeks minimum. All right, 18 of you currently watching, only 8 likes. Really would appreciate if you guys could smash that like button and help out the channel. We really, really appreciate it. As well as if you like this stream so far, considering a subscription really, really helps out the channel. We're trying to get to 450 subscribers. Also, before we get into today's episode, we want to thank Manscaped for supporting the stream. They are a new sponsor to the show, and they've set our listeners up with a 20% off plus free shipping offer when using this code SNAP20 at checkout at manscaped.com. Again, that's SNAP20 at checkout at manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping. All right, let's get into these, Lando. We've got Easy, part of our listener league, comes in first, gets that question in, and he deserves to get these questions answered first. So, full PPR, pick 2, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Debo, Chase Edmonds, Christian Kirk, Chase Claypool. Oh, baby.
For me, it's between Debo and Claypool. Is that crazy right now?
Nope, definitely not. Depends what you want to think about Debo. I do think he'll have, anywhere from 8 to 10 opportunities to make something happen in this game. Christian Kirk, I think, is still probably a boom-bust play. I mean, he did have that boom game last week with the 2 touchdowns in the first half, but that's not something that I think you can hang your hat on week in and week out. So I'm going to go Debo and Chase Claypool for the upside.
Yep, me too, totally. You got to play to win.
He said, if Chase Edmonds is not picked for my flex, my spot replacement running back start is McKinnon. Do I start Chase Edmonds over McKinnon as my running back 2?
Yes.
See, I disagree with that.
McKinnon over Edmonds.
No, he said, do I start Chase Edmonds over McKinnon?
Oh no, sorry.
Right.
I missed.
Yeah, McKinnon, for sure. I mean, with Raheem Mostert out, Tevin Coleman not back on the field, it's going to be Jeff Wilson and Jerick McKinnon, and Jerick McKinnon's been the guy getting all of the work. So roll 100%. McKinnon 100%.
Doesn't matter if you have 2 Niners on the squad. It's not a big deal. You just got to go with the best player available.
Correct. My boy Bobo in the chat. We're going to run to his question. What's up, my man? Should I play Gordon in the flex? Not many other options, but I do have Renfro, James Washington, and Darren Fells, who are also a good option. Help. We can help you. It looks like Melvin Gordon's going to play. And there's been...
We didn't really expect that.
I didn't expect it either. It seems sometimes that the NFL likes to take its time with legal disputes, gather all the information, and suspensions may be looming near the end of the season, which... It sucks to have that little dark cloud following a player. But I think for this week, you're fine in starting him. He projects to be the starter, and I don't see that changing if the team's not going to take any further discipline. So I'd roll out Melvin Gordon.
There's some interesting things happening in Denver right now, where there's winds between 7 or 5 to 9 miles an hour, and snow accumulation of potentially 5 inches of snow, which could lead to the running backs having a big game. That's including Clyde Edwards-Helaire and the newly acquired Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, baby. Again, 23 of you in the stream right now. Even if you're just popping in to ask a question, popping it once we answer, please leave a like. Really, really helps us out. Chase Bridges asks, pick 2 for a half PPR. Josh Kelly, DJ Chark, Deante Johnson, Debo Samuel. Who you going with here, Lando?
Deante and Chark.
Ooh. I'm going to go DJ Chark and Debo Samuel. Deante Johnson, I did put some stock into last week in his return. We saw him exit before the first half ended. I don't like the chance of re-injury. It's a little bit scary. Josh Kelly is a nice piece as well. It's again, a piece that I want to see pop on his own instead of being the complement. So I'm going to reserve. I'm going to go DJ Chark, and I'm going to go Debo Samuel.
Cool.
Jamal Jones, need a tight end, Jared Cook or Noah Fant?
So Noah Fant coming off this injury, it's interesting. I would go Jared Cook, probably based on the floor play. Noah Fant's a great upside tight end. I love the talent. I'm starting him in the leagues. But I have no other choice. I've got Mark Andrews on bye.
Considering as well the weather that you brought up in Denver, with the high winds and the high snowfall projected, I don't know if I want to start Noah Fant returning from injury, as well as you mix the inclement weather in there. I don't think I'm interested. So Jared Cook.
Yeah.
Tony 95802. I understand why you have those many numbers, given that Tony is a ridiculously popular name. Maybe Tony with an I. Maybe that was a better choice for you. I don't know, brother.
At least you got it under 100K.
That's
man.
true. Yeah. Good.
You managed to get.
Good for you, brother. Deante Johnson or Cooper Kupp. I would go Cooper Kupp, no question. And
Yeah, you got to go Cooper Kupp in that scenario. I know Cooper Kupp's been disappointing,
The
man,
last
but
2 weeks.
you got to stick with Kupp at this
Yep.
point. He had a ton of targets this past game. It just didn't come down with any. He should have had a touchdown in the corner of the end zone. That's one that 8 out of 10 times he catches, no question about it. 9 out of 10 times he catches. He just missed that one.
Rams of the Monday night game, is that correct?
It's the Monday night
So make
game,
sure that
yeah.
you have Cooper Kupp in your flex. That's the only piece of information I would share there. Yeah.
Yes.
Start Edelman, Beasley, or Deante Johnson. I think you got to go with the chance on Deante.
Yeah, I think you do too. He's that high upside play. Hopefully he's back fully healthy. I believe in the talent of Deante. I think when he's fully healthy, he's the number one wide receiver in that offense now. He took the job from Juju.
Yeah.
And I mean, Chase Claypool is doing his best way
And I know we pivoted off Deante Johnson in the other group with Josh Kelly and Debo and DJ Chark, but those options are, a whole lot better than Edelman and Beasley. So it's Deante for me here.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that Beasley has the safest floor out of all these guys, but I think he does.
Oh, I think so too.
John Brown is out. Beasley he gets work. He gets so many targets, that guy, and we disrespect him every single week. But it's the lack of ceiling for Beasley, and it's just unfortunate. But obviously Diggs. Everyone agree that Diggs has the ceiling in that offense. Beasley just gets the targets when you kind of hate to see it in the red zone or weird spots.
Now Robert Tonyan, who I believe will not play this week, he is currently questionable. We're waiting on news for him.
He's expected to play.
Okay. So Robert Tonyan or Hunter Henry, and we learned it was Tonyan, kind of like Funyun. Robert Tonyan.
And I would go Hunter Henry there. I think Hunter Henry's in a great spot this week against Jacksonville.
And I like the rapport that Justin Herbert has with Hunter Henry. I like the bigger playability. I like him targeting Hunter Henry. So I'm going to go Henry with full confidence on that one. Full PPR need 2. James Robinson, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jackson. You got to roll with the two shiny options there. Robinson, running back 6 right now, and CeeDee Lamb, who's been solid. So,
yeah, Robinson has been disappointing as of late, but he's getting a ton of work. It should be still good for Robinson going forward.
And it seems to me that when Andy Dalton looks for his wide receivers, he's still reading Amari Cooper as the first option. But number 2, he seems to settle on CeeDee Lamb. The targets have still been there with Dalton, and CeeDee Lamb is a very impressive yards after catch player. So I could see, regardless of the game script, which I think Dallas might lose this game, shocker. Washington's not a bad defense, but if they have to throw the ball to come back, the narrative really fits the CeeDee Lamb game script.
I think Justin Jackson is a good running back. It's hard to predict. Joshua Kelly, I think, will still be involved. It's going to be more of a split backfield than we saw in the first game without Austin Eckler. So I just think Joshua Kelly is going to take some high-value touches away from Jackson. If I'm wrong, Justin Jackson's in a smash play. But if it's more split than we thought before, it's going to be a little bit messy, and you could be a frustrated Justin Jackson owner.
Yep. Full PPR, Justin Jackson or Latavius Murray, first-time listener. Thank you. Well, Mark, thank you so much, man. Welcome to the stream. We appreciate you. For those of you that are also new in here, leave a like or consider subscribing. We do this each and every week from 11 a.m. until about game time. We stop around 12:50 to set our own lineups because we have to do our own due diligence there. But I would go Latavius Murray here for the touchdown upside. Landon, do you agree?
I think Latavius is a really sneaky play this week against Carolina. He's a very startable asset as a fringe flex play. Gives you a fairly safe floor, and like Mackenzie said, he's got upside as well. What'd you say the other option was,
Justin
Mac?
Jackson.
Justin Jackson. Yeah, I mean,
we've seen Justin Jackson be a really strong complement, especially when Melvin Gordon held out with this team last year, and it was the Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson show. Now, since they've drafted Josh Kelly this year, he seems to be taking on the more alpha role in the backfield, but Justin Jackson serves to be a good pass-catching back who is a good change-of-pace runner. I would just rather have the goal line exposure that I know is there with Latavius Murray.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to make it confusing for you. I have Justin Jackson ahead in the ranks. I don't feel confident with that play. Alvin Kamara is the best fantasy asset we have right now, and if it just is a Kamara game, I just don't know if Latavius is going to get some of those opportunities. But we've seen it's kind of a roll of the dice with both guys because you don't have a guaranteed goal line play in Latavius, but sometimes you do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you do. And then you don't have that goal line play with Justin Jackson, but we haven't seen enough of a sample size to have that confirmed for us.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy, man. That's tough. You got to go with your gut here. Better matchup. They both have great matchups. So
I know the Saints can put points on the board. I know they've been able to support two running backs, fantasy running backs in the past. So I'm going to go with the Saints side of the ball there.
I like it.
David Wilson, good morning to you as well, wherever you are coming from. Appreciate you being here. Bob said we gave him the advice to start Melvin Gordon. He's saying he's playing against Lindsay. I kind of want to bring this up for a quick little minute discussion here. When you're playing, let's say, a quarterback against an opponent's wide receiver one, do you care? Is that an issue for you? Would you rather pivot, or do you just, it's fine?
I don't really care.
Neither do I.
Honestly, I'm trying to put up the most points possible for my team. It's great when you're watching as a fan if Melvin Gordon gets that touchdown and Lindsay doesn't. Like, that's just a added bonus.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
I agree. I wouldn't shy away from playing, like Landon said, the best option for your team, despite regardless of who you're going up against. Pick 3, full PPR, Mike Evans, Tyler Boyd, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Giovanni Bernard. I think you got to leave Gio out of this. I can't see Le'Veon Bell coming in and eating that much of Clyde's workload, maybe 10 to 20%, but I really do believe Le'Veon Bell is an insurance piece for this team. I think he's a complement to Clyde, but I do believe it's Clyde's backfield. I mean, the guy touched the ball 26 times last game, 161 yards rushing. He was fantastic. And that's not going to change. So Giovanni Bernard, we've already talked about this. I haven't really believed in Joe Mixon's ability to be productive behind that Cincinnati backfield or offensive line, and I don't have any real hope that Giovanni Bernard is going to be the answer for them. So Mike Evans, Tyler Boyd, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, don't question it.
That is a great option. I like it, Mac. If you guys are watching, thank you for coming in. We do our best to go over every start-sit question you answer or you ask in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, like the channel. It goes a long way for us. We don't ask for much, just a little like and a comment. You can get us on Twitter at @snap_fantasy. Our handles are in the video. If you want to DM us personally, we had dozens of questions and DMs, and Mac has gotten to almost every single one of them this week.
Not almost, Lando. Every single question.
Well, I mean, for all we know, there's some right now.
That's true.
But we will get to them. We promise we will get to every single one.
Summer B, full point PPR need to James Robinson, CeeDee Lamb. Oh, did we get this one already? Maybe it was a repeat.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a similar question. Yeah, we did. James Robinson, CeeDee Lamb. Book it. Sit one. I like the sit ones. PPR, Le'Veon Bell, Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb. You're sitting Lev Bell.
Yeah, we'll hope it's probably the Damien Williams role for Le'Veon Bell to start.
You mean Daryl Williams?
Daryl Williams.
Thank you.
I'm losing it. Daryl Williams plus. He's going to get more work from that. But reports from camp are saying that Clyde Edwards-Helaire loves the competition, is looking more explosive, and he's going to get the bulk of the workload, at least to start. What the roles are going forward, it's hard to say what Andy Reid is, but we will see both of these guys be okay. I just want to see Le'Veon Bell on the field first and how productive he actually is in that Kansas City offense.
Yeah, and I think if you're starting Le'Veon Bell, you're buying into the hype. You're buying into what he was in 2016, 2017 as the running back 1, 2 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's when he was getting over 300 touches a year. It's not going to be the case with Kansas City. I believe this is Clyde's backfield. I'm playing the elite wide receiving options in Cooper Kupp and CeeDee Lamb, even though Cooper Kupp's had 2 down weeks in a row. I think this is the bounce back week for him. Michaela L, welcome in. Hunter Henry or TJ Hawkinson in a half PPR. Lando, you are the tight end expert. Who are you going with there?
TJ Hawkinson.
The Hawk Dog.
Love TJ this week. I do think Matt Stafford bounces back and has a big week.
I do too. I'm playing in some DFS spots there. Need a flex for a PPR. Tim Patrick, LaVisca Chenault, Melvin Gordon, or Antonio Gibson. Oh, baby. So I do like Tim Patrick. I think he is a nice spot start in a deeper league. However, Melvin Gordon is on the table. I'm going to go with Melvin Gordon still.
Breaking news, Mac. Aaron Jones is officially inactive.
Inactive. There we go.
Inactive. As much as he wanted to play, you said it right. The Packers do not need him. Even if he was active, he would have had a lower role, a light load.
Yeah,
and now they won't. Now they don't need to make that decision. So that bumps Jamal Williams up. It bumps AJ Dillon up to be a fringe flex desperation play. But I think Jamal Williams has a ton of upside.
And for those of you that missed it, the reason why I said this is because Green Bay's already had their bye week. They had an early Week 5 bye. It doesn't make sense given the schedule moving forward, and the Bears are still competitive in this division. They need to rest Aaron Jones if he does have a calf strain that potentially might be facing re-injury. So Jamal Williams will be a decent start this week. I do think it bumps him up to like a fringe running back 2, and I think this is a really telltale sign of what they have in A.J. Dillon, their second round draft pick. So if A.J. Dillon can produce, I think this is a good game for him to do it. It's a soft matchup against the Texans. Aaron Rodgers should be able to do lots with the ball through the air. All they need is a serviceable day on the ground, and I think Williams and Dillon can get that done. Jamal Jones need a flex. Oh, we just did that one. Evan, even against
Bears D. I'm not sure what he's.
Yeah, I missed that one. Sorry, remember. Tony. We'd have to go back. Jamal Williams, Robert Woods, or Kenyon Drake flex PPR. I mean, it's Robert Woods for me. Aaron Jones being out doesn't bump Jamal Williams up that far. If I was going to go running back, it would be Kenyon Drake. We haven't believed in Kenyon Drake. I think last week was a little bit of a facade with the added garbage time run at the end of the game, and really they're just trying to pick up the first down and seal the game, and Kenyon Drake takes it 70 yards to the house. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Robert Woods.
Yeah, I think so too. In a PPR league, Robert Woods has a lot of targets. He did have that groin injury, but he's expected to play. I'm not too worried about it. That's not an injury. I think that will limit Robert Woods in any way. So
Tony's talking about just the Bears defense in general not allowing a lot to fantasy running backs, and they also aren't allowing a lot to fantasy wide receivers either. They are the third best in the league against the fantasy wide receiver, and they're a top 10 against the running back. But I mean, numbers can change. I still think it's the best start for you though. All right, let's roll.
Sounds good. So Tony says, all right, okay, so I see ya. So Chase Bridges Standard League, Chark, Woods, or Claypool. So no bonus for PPR. Chark had 14 targets this past week. I think Chark has a good bounce back week. I was fading Chark because of his injury. He played that entire game. He looked good. He just, I think now that after this week he'll be with no injury designation. I think this really helps DJ Chark to have a breakout game. I'm playing Chark in a lot of spots.
If I had to eliminate one wide receiver, it would be Chase Claypool.
And that's the thing. I agree. I think this Chase Claypool breakout is a little bit premature to designate a full breakout.
This one's close for me. This one's close, and I understand the Chicago Bears, not the greatest matchup on paper. However, when the ball gets traveled, when the ball travels through the air, it goes to either Cooper Kupp or it goes to Robert Woods. A lot of the time. And I do think Robert Woods is a high volume play. I think he's safe for your fantasy team. I think he has a decent ceiling this week, and he's slightly ahead of DJ Chark for me. So I'm going to go Robert Woods.
Yeah, exactly. They're all wide receiver 2s for us. They're within points of our projections right now. Woods, I think, is the call. He's in the toughest matchup, but he's He's got the highest floor and potential ceiling.
Yeah, Chase, thank you for the question. Appreciate it. UGA Bulldog, University of Georgia. Some good talent out of there. Pick 2 wide receivers: Tyler Boyd, DJ Moore, DJ Chark, Deebo Samuel, Chase Claypool. Holy,
what a lineup,
solid.
This guy.
All right.
This guy, he should be doing the podcast with us. Look at that team.
Yeah, it's like an 8-team league though, Lando. Geez, this is a tough one. Okay, for sure, I think DJ Chark has to be in here.
Yeah, I agree. I think the game script for that Chargers game looks good. You want a competitive game. You want Jacksonville to be throwing the ball, and DJ Chark is the number 1 in that offense. Yeah, totally.
But then who's your second? And this is where we might vary.
I would probably still stick with, you know what, Tyler Boyd. Although he's not a sexy name, he's not a player that you love to start. He still sees some guaranteed targets. They're playing Cleveland. It's a decent matchup. Joe Burrow is going to throw a lot. I guess I'll go with Boyd.
And I'm going to go with DJ Moore as my pick here. The New Orleans Saints haven't been amazing on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, we saw Aaron Rodgers just dice them up with a very depleted wide receiving core for the Green Bay Packers in week 4. So I'm going to go with DJ Moore with the explosiveness of this offense. Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, yards after catch, they're accounting for over 50% of Teddy Bridgewater's yardage so far this year. So those two can create on their own. I'm going to go with the Panthers side of the ball.
Good game script too, and against New Orleans. New Orleans defense
divisional
is hot
game.
And cold. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. If Teddy Bridgewater's throwing the football and New Orleans can score at will, it should be a fun game to watch.
UGA also has another one. So pick 2: Traquan Smith, Tim Patrick, Juju Smith-Schuster. I can't believe Juju's lumped in with these two guys. It's wild.
Fair question.
It's wild to me. It is a good question. This sounds crazy, but in the absence of Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, I'm going to go for a guy who should get a ton of volume along with Alvin Kamara, and that's Traquan Smith.
So it's going to be Traquan and Juju for you?
Yes, Traquan and Juju. And I would consider Tim Patrick if the weather was better. If you are unaware, the weather right now in Denver is high winds and high snowfall. So it's not trending to be a great weather game.
With that being said, UGA Bulldog also has to decide between Robert Tonyan and Noah Fant. And that's a really tough decision as well.
Given the uncertainty of Tonyan, I think I might go Fant there.
Right. So there we go. So even though Noah Fant is potentially in a tough game, I don't think we should fade the weather that much.
Correct.
A guy like this, there's still going to be fantasy owners. There's still going to be wide receivers that play well.
And the fact that we're sitting down Tim Patrick out of those guys makes it a little easier to lean on the Noah Fant side, because if we go Patrick and Fant, we have too much exposure to that game. So if you're gonna pick a guy, make sure it's only one, not two.
I would say it's a pretty safe floor with Tonyan. I do agree.
There's still the chance that he does not play. I mean, look what just happened to Aaron Jones.
They're both banged up. This is Noah Fant's first game back off an injury as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go Fant.
All right.
Joe Burrow or Drew Brees? What side do you like there, Lando?
With Drew Brees still.
You still like Drew Brees? Yeah, I do as well. Carolina's not been great on the defensive side of the ball, and Drew Brees can do so much with just checking it down to Alvin Kamara and letting him work. So the fact that he has that piece locked, loaded, healthy, I like that. I would go Drew Brees. Griffin, I remember your name, Griffin Totten. Morning, guys. Glad to be back this week. We are glad to have you.
Thanks for coming by,
I'm going to scroll down, Griffin, see if you have a question here. You do. All right, my man. Pick 4. Wow, pick 4. I mean, are we just setting the lineup for you?
That's our job, man. That's our job.
Pick 4. Tyler Lockett, Calvin Ridley, CeeDee Lamb, Chase Claypool, A.J. Brown, Deante Johnson. Standard league. So it looks like you went air raid, which I respect, the 0 RB, or maybe you just play in a shallow league. I don't know. Lockett, Ridley, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb. Those are the 4.
Locked.
Yep. I would go away from the Steelers side there. Just I know that the volume will be there for the other guys. So that's where I'm going. I don't want to decide.
I want to say what's up to Kendall. Thanks for coming by off of Sleeper. We will answer all your questions here. Make sure to like and subscribe. And everyone, if you're just hanging out, we have 22 people watching, only 18 likes. We're grinding here 2 hours before kickoff.
Yes, sir.
It means the world to us for just a quick subscribe, like, whatever, notification bell, whatever you can.
We are trying to get to that right there. We're trying to get to 450 subs. Make that happen, please and thank you.
I think we can
really
do it.
appreciate
I think we can do it.
Manny B, morning. Hayden Hurst or Darren Fells in a half PPR. This is testing your Darren Fells love, Landon. I'm going to say Hayden Hurst.
You're going Hayden Hurst. I need to monitor Jordan Akins because that's, for me, is the questionable for me. If there's only one tight end in Houston, I think Fells is a great spot. He's questionable with an injury. If he plays, go with Hayden Hurst. Ugh, that's gross to me.
Green Bay Packers have not been bad on the defensive side. They haven't been bad against many fantasy positions except for the running back. They give up almost the most to fantasy running backs. Good against the tight end. DFS question from Bradley. He wants to get into your wallet, man. So question for Landon. Make sure I can weigh in too. I will give you priority on this, Lando. Values start at quarterback, so he's wanting to pay down. Andy Dalton, Drew Brees, Ryan Tannehill, Teddy Bridgewater, or Joe Burrow.
I think all these are great tournament plays, Brad. None of them are going to be highly owned. The ownership for quarterback is fairly flat every week. However, we're seeing Kyler Murray come in very high, along with Matt Stafford is coming in very high as well in fantasy, or in DFS. So you are picking between a lot of really good options. The potential for stacking, Drew Brees doesn't really have that anymore.
Right.
So unless you want to go with Kamara, he is the far and away chalk play. He's going to be like 35% owned. So stacking with Brees, him Brees and Traquan might be an interesting stack, but it's not something I completely love.
I kind of do, though, Landon. I kind of do. It's going to give you a unique lineup. That's for sure.
Yeah, it might, because I don't think anyone's playing Drew Brees. So if you're going with Andy Dalton, you have to pay up for his pass catchers and running it back with Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is also the highest owned wide receiver on the week as well, Brad. So
what about when you said stack Brees, Kamara, Traquan? What if you ran it back with Mike Davis?
Yeah, I think that is a very good option. I think that's a play you could definitely do. Shout
out to Bradley. Much like yourself, Landon, he is also on a 6-week winning streak on the DFS slate. So you two are hitting it out of the park. Maybe we need to have you two on here more.
Last week, Mac, I did a live lineup when I saw your love for Justin Jefferson last week. I went on here, stopped answering questions, into the live lineup, and that paid me $135 off a $20 entry.
Landon sends me like a screenshot every single week at around 2:30, and he's like, "I'm up, $1,000 in DFS," and I'm like, "Are you?" Like I turned $3 into 20, and I'm like, "I'm a damn genius," and you're over here just flipping stacks. Ridiculous.
I've been playing about $100 in entries every week, though.
I mean, just quit your job, man. Quit your job.
I need to
we put all the equity from the podcast into your
as a DFS
slates.
As a DFS player, if your return is between like 10 to 25%, that's a good plan.
Flex Fanatic, I haven't seen your name before, so welcome into the stream. Appreciate you being here. I see you've asked your question twice, so hopefully you're still in here with us. Should you start Aaron Jones or Le'Veon Bell? Aaron Jones is out. He is not going to play this week, so I think if those are the only two options, you're stuck with Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, and I don't. There's always upside with any Kansas City running back.
Sure.
So it could be
sure.
Worse
and
things.
We're not saying that Lev Bell's a bad play. Just
okay. So he said James Robinson or Lev Bell.
Oh, James Robinson in a heartbeat.
Yep. So then, Flex, if you're still around, thanks for coming by. Because I know he asked that question when we had the breaking news about Aaron Jones.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's we're trying to get through every single question, and I love that there are as many questions as there are. So maybe we'll try to go like rapid time and catch up here, Lando.
We got 21 likes, guys. You guys heard me. Thank you so much for liking our video. We appreciate you. There's 25 people watching now. We will get to every single question. Give us a quick like and subscribe. It goes a long way.
We're trying to get to 450. So help us out there. All right, David Johnson, Chase Claypool, or Jamal Williams. PPR. Oh, full PPR for the flex position. Woo. So, like we said, the Green Bay Packers are the worst in the league against the fantasy running back. So we have to take
I would go David Johnson.
David Johnson has been very serviceable. Sadly, seeing as what's on the hat here, I do think that the Houston Texans compete in this game, and David Johnson should be part of that. Jamal Williams seems to be a good play with Aaron Jones out. However, I think it could be a committee approach with A.J. Dillon getting a bigger workload. So go David Johnson against a really bad defense against the fantasy running back.
Yeah, we need to be careful about slotting in these backup running backs to produce exactly the same as the starter. Obviously, Mike Davis did a great job doing that.
Who didn't, Landon?
We love, Alexander Madison, did not.
Right there. And don't listen to Coach speak either. That really pisses me off. I picked up Cam Akers in a couple leagues. I dropped some decent pieces to get him. Sean McVay saying, Cam Akers is ready for a bigger workload, blah, blah, blah. One touch. One freaking touch, Lando.
I think one play. I think he was on the one snap.
One snap.
DK. So okay. Griffin's asking another question here.
James Robinson.
Yep.
Gio Bernard.
Or
either Charger running back. Was holding out and hoping Aaron Jones would play. I would go James.
You've got good backups.
Absolutely.
Backups.
Go James Robinson. He's been a top 10 running back on the year. It's not what I love, but it's what it is. So
I would go secondly, I would go Gio Bernard over the two Chargers running backs.
Yeah. Like I said, Gio Bernard looks to be a safe play with his pass catching chops, but I don't love it because Joe Mixon has not overwhelmed me. So I'm going to go James Robinson there. He's got to continue to be decent. North Reindeer, I love the name. We are also north of the border. If you guys didn't know, we're a Canadian podcast, but we do cover the NFL because the CFLA is complete trash. DK Metcalf or DJ Moore, scared of the shadow coverage on DK. I don't know if you've seen DK Metcalf, but I don't know if there's anybody that can cover him.
Man, the hype on DK is so real. I love it. He's a phenomenal player. He's a guy that could only get 4 targets, 3 receptions for 123 yards. Like, that guy is just something else. We have DK in our top 5 wide receiver in this week. Like, he is just a monster. I understand his floor is fairly low, but we've seen the relationship we've had with Russell Wilson. I'm not scared of any shadow coverage.
And the problem with DK Metcalf is being 6'4" and as strong as he is, as athletic as he is. Like, we're not saying this is a 6'4" Derrick Henry who appears slow and at sometimes not as agile. Like, this is an athletic.
You just gotta throw jabs.
I have to. I'm loving Derrick Henry now. I love that I have him too. I'm a long time hater of Derrick Henry. Full disclosure, but DK Metcalf is a player who, when he came into the league, he was criticized. This guy can only run the 9 route, which is just a straight sprint down the field. He's fast, he's big, but he has nothing else. And his route tree is actually fairly developed, and we don't give him enough credit for that. Second thing, he has the love from Russell Wilson. He targets him. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf last year had 71 red zone targets between the two of them. That's not changing. Russell Wilson's putting the ball in the air. They're scoring. And so you put those two pieces together, plus the big play upside with DK Metcalf, you can't stray away from DK. I don't care who's covering him. DK Metcalf is the play.
Yeah, you got to go. Like, I love DJ Moore.
Oh, we both love DJ Moore. Absolutely.
So does Mac.
Yeah, he's great, but DK Metcalf is the play.
What's great as well, just to finish this off, we don't need to ramble too much longer, but Seattle's defense is not good. Mm-mm. Arizona's offense is great. This is going to be a shootout game. Seattle's going to have to pass the football, and
I'm hoping it. And it's a divisional game. I'm hoping this is just shootout. Like, let's put up 50 points. It's a squad here. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, Waleed. welcome to the stream. Is Aaron Jones playing today? No, he is not. He was announced about half an hour ago that he is not playing. He traveled with the team, tested out that calf pregame, could not go, so he is out for today.
North Reindeer also has a Davante Adams or Curtis Samuel question, and you got to start Davante Adams. He's in an absolute great locked and loaded spot at Houston. Davante could be the wide receiver 1 rest of season.
And that's fair. That's fair. What we know about Davante Adams is the volume's there. And look, last week was an outlier game. Aaron Rodgers was horrible. He had that one kind of interception, the pick six, and then he had another one go off of, I think it was Davante's hands, and it got picked, and it just was, it stumbled out of control. This game got away from them, and it just wasn't good. But don't think that the Houston Texans are going to give them the same issues. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a pretty solid defense, a top 10 defense nonetheless. And, well, the Houston Texans just aren't. So let Aaron Rodgers do Aaron Rodgers things. Let it be a down game for the Packers, and let's move on. Davante Adams is still a top 5 wide receiving candidate. And going Curtis Samuel, who is also, I might add, questionable on the week, is just egregious.
So Griffin's asking another question.
We got that one already.
We got that one. So Kendall. So we gave a shout out to Kendall, but we didn't answer his question. And if you're still in, thank you for coming by. We will go over your Herbert and Stafford. No question about it. So
look, I think both guys have good matchups here.
Yeah, I love Herbert, and you can see that in how he plays football. He's a great talent. He has a great relationship with Henry, and the deep ball he throws to Mike Williams, it looks like Keenan Allen is going to play this week, and he just peppers him with targets. I think Keenan Allen has 0 drops on the season, which is phenomenal. We have them back-to-back in our matchups because Matt Stafford also has a great matchup against Atlanta. Atlanta can't stop anyone. That's going to be another shootout game where Ridley and Julio and Hurst and potentially Todd Gurley are going to have great matchups, similar with Golladay, and I mean maybe we'll see something from Marvin Jones Jr. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one.
The only thing that so here's what I'm going to put this as scoring format.
Yeah.
If it's a 4-point touchdown league, I think you go Justin Herbert. His mobility against one of the worst running defenses in the league in Jacksonville, Justin Herbert might be able to use his mobility to be productive on the ground. However, if it's a 6-point passing touchdown league, I think you go Matt Stafford.
Yeah, I think Matt Stafford is the play for the floor and the ceiling, even though he's been underwhelming. Herbert, so the LA Chargers, I know this is a little bit narrative street, but they seem to play up and down to their opponent. If they play a bad opponent, it just looks like a bad game, and Jacksonville's not a good team. They play the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints, and they just elevate and play to a level where it's like, who is this quarterback and why wasn't he the number 1 overall pick? I
agree with you. I'm personally playing Justin Herbert here for the ceiling.
Yeah, I have Herbert in my lineups too, so if you play that with me, Kendall, I'll be cheering with you, my man.
Michaela L. back again. Robert Woods or Tyler Boyd in half PPR. Robert Woods for me.
Yep, I like Robert Woods as well, even though it's a tougher matchup. Robert Woods is the play.
Yep, and Jamison Crowder, like we said, has been ruled out. I'm going to check right now for some more news, just in case we have some. We should also talk about Landon, our sponsor, a little bit. We're about halfway through the stream. I think it's time that we talk about Manscaped. So if you are a new listener to the show, and this is the first time coming to the stream, we are sponsored by Manscaped. They support this stream. They support us. And we're going to be showing off some of their products today. So if you are from Canada and you haven't had the luxury of getting your hands on some Manscaped product, they are now in Canada, which is fantastic. Landon here is showcasing the Lawnmower 3.0 and this wicked travel bag. Travel bag is typically $50, but right now they actually have this bag as a part of a deal. You get it for free. You get the Lawnmower 3.0. You get the crop preserver. You get the ball toner. Man, this thing is jam-packed, and you get a free pair of boxers. Landon is also supporting the Manscaped tee, which they were so kind to to give to us. No, Landon, get up, do a quick little circle hill, show the people what we're working with here today.
That's that you got to pay for that content. That's behind a paywall.
Wow. Look, I've never been a guy that's been like, oh, you know what? I need to buy tools to clean the jewels, essentially. But it's crazy now that I've been using this to think that I would ever go back. Because using the face razor or like the flickable attachment to go down there, nick, cut, mini vasectomy, you name it, bad things can happen when you put tools that are not designed to keep the boys safe. Bad things can happen. And my experience has been life-changing. I don't know about yours, but I'm really happy to have these products in my life now because I have full confidence going down there that there's going to be no issues.
100%, Mac. I completely agree. Make sure to use SNAP20 for 20% off your order. That is SNAP20 plus free shipping at manscaped.com.
Yeah, get the razor that has a quieter motor, a ceramic blade for no cuts, a really nice charging stand that is USB powered, has an LED light so you can get into those, darker places that you wouldn't normally get, and get all these extra bonuses. Save a bunch of money with our code. That's SNAP20, like Lando said. Your balls will thank you if you go to manscaped.com and pick up some products today. All right, Lando, back to the stream here, picking up some questions. Whoo! Morgan
coming in. Gio Bernard versus the Browns or Allen Robinson versus the Rams.
This is what I'm talking about, Landon. This is what I'm talking about with Gio Bernard hype.
People are high on Gio. It's a valid question. Don't put down Morgan.
I'm not putting it down. I'm not putting it down at all. I love Morgan. They're great. But this is a classic example of we can't put Giovanni Bernard in thinking he's going to give us what Joe Mixon would. Allen Robinson is still the wide receiver in the league with the most targets. We have to love volume from a fantasy perspective, and Allen Robinson going up against the Rams is still a great play. I'm going to go with the wide receiver that gets the most targets in the league. Give me A-Rob.
Go with the wide receiver. It's a half PPR. Do it up, my homie. Summer B, thanks for coming by. It's the first time I've seen your name, so it might not be. You may have come by before.
Landon's forgetful.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button. We got 25 people watching. We got 24 likes. We appreciate every single one of you. We're grinding here every week. We'll get to every one of your questions. But Summer is asking in a full PPR, Antonio Gibson, Jamal Williams, Justin Jackson. In my order, I would have it in that order. I would have Gibson, Williams, and Jackson in that order. I agree that Jackson has a good floor based on the out scenario. But Gibson also has a great matchup as well. So I think
I sincerely hope that Antonio Gibson does get, a continued increase in his involvement in the offense. They're going up against Dallas, which is a really soft matchup. They can't seem to stop anybody. And I think that the Washington football team could win this game. It's crazy to say. They're actually a 1-point favorite right now. It opened as a 2-point Dallas favorite. Yeah. It's been bet down to a 1-point Washington favorite. So, I'm going to Antonio Gibson. Absolutely.
I need to see it. I really need to see it from Gibson, or else I'll be kind of caught with my hand in the cookie jar with Gibson, because you could move him right now on the upside, and I don't know if I should.
Yeah, and Jamal Williams, with Aaron Jones being out, has been bumped up to a fringe running back 2/3. So he's in that 24 to 30 range for us on the week, but he won't be as high as Antonio Gibson being. His involvement with the offense. I don't mind J.D. McKissick either, if available. Pick 2, half PPR, Amari Cooper, DJ Moore, DJ Chark. Hey. So I think Amari Cooper has to be in, and then, it's between DJ Moore, DJ Chark. I think we've leaned DJ Chark here, given last week's volume in his return to this offense.
Yep, I like
Sit
that
down,
as
DJ
well,
Moore.
for sure.
TS, welcome back. I recognize that name. Jerick McKinnon, Justin Jackson, or Brandon Cooks for the flex. It's going to be Jerick McKinnon for me.
I agree. I think it's between McKinnon and Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks has been more involved in the offense.
As of the last 2 weeks, for sure.
As of the last few weeks, he's had a few big games. He's doing all right. But yeah, I think it's McKinnon. I think he's locked and loaded as the running back to own in San Francisco, even though it's a tough matchup against.
And again, if you missed it, Raheem Mostert placed on IR for the next 3 weeks at minimum. Tevin Coleman's still not on the field, so it is the Jeff Wilson Juicer. Jeff Wilson Jr. and Jerick McKinnon show. And Jerick McKinnon has been the back getting all of the work if that is the set. So I'm going to go with McKinnon.
Love that.
He's talking about his air raid team, yeah, and he's waiting for CMC to come back. So yeah, I feel that, brother. Where are we here? My thing just reset. Sorry, Tyson Tricks. I have not seen your name before, so welcome into the show. AJ Dillon or Odell at the flex since Aaron Jones is out. I think that's reading too much into the opportunity with AJ Dillon. It's going to be Odell for me.
Yeah, with an AJ Dillon play, you're hoping for a touchdown. If he gets 8 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown, that's kind of what his ceiling is.
And I do very much so agree with that. And this is a good week for Green Bay to see what they have in AJ Dillon, right? This is a good matchup against the Houston Texans. They should be able to be productive. Let's see what they got in AJ Dillon before we roll him out over what's been a really solid option in the past 5 years with Odell Beckham Jr. When healthy, and he is currently healthy. So Bradley, awesome.
Kendall's still here. What up, Kendall?
From Sleeper, yes.
I think we got a subscriber. Kendall's gonna be a consistent guy.
Look,
we appreciate it. Smash that.
Look, people, we're not trying to grow this. Where is it? Right there. We're not trying to grow this subscriber number for anything, no personal gain, no nothing. We're just trying to build a community of people. And every single week that we do this, we seem to get more and more people popping in, asking questions, and building this community. And we want to build it bigger with people that are like-minded and love fantasy football, but just as much as we do. We don't do this for a living. We are very passionate about fantasy football, but we want to build a community. And so you guys being here, subscribing, hanging out, interacting, it makes everything worth it for us. So we really, really appreciate it. Stinger Sports.
We're only 7 subscribers away from 450.
7. All right, if you're one of those 23 people in here who are new to the channel, haven't subscribed, consider it. Really, really helps us out. Just one click of the red button, doesn't cost. Just help the channel out. Really appreciate you guys. Stinger Sports, Tannehill, Big Ben, Andy Dalton, or Teddy Bridge. Okay, with quarterbacks, this is tough because, on a week-to-week basis, the range can be quite similar. So who has the biggest upside and who has the safest floor?
Big Ben, I think, is a good play. The Tennessee defense is not as good as the Pittsburgh defense. Tannehill has done nothing but impress. So between those two guys, it's me. I'm going to play Big Ben.
Yeah. Big Ben has the highest ceiling for me. I am not starting Andy Dalton given those other options. Teddy Bridgewater seems to be an all right play, but I would say that Tannehill has the safest floor and Big Ben has the highest ceiling. That's the way I view it. So depending on what you need in your matchup, that's where I think you should go. Sylvester White, new name to the stream. Welcome in. Who do you start between DJ Chark, Daryl Henderson, or Justin Jackson? This is really testing the love on DJ Chark because Daryl Henderson has continued to impress for the LA Rams. So between, I think Justin Jackson is out, but between Chark and Henderson, who are you rolling here, Lando?
I'm gonna go with DJ Chark. I'm gonna rely on those targets he's getting. He did not mention what
format,
the scoring format, but I assume it's gonna be. I'll assume it's half PPR league. That will make a bit of a difference. It would give Daryl Henderson a bit of a bump, but I'm gonna go Chark in that matchup. I'm gonna vet the
rankings do lean DJ Chark.
There you go. So I would go that.
Chase Bridges again, Gio or Josh Kelly in a half PPR. Oh man, I think that's Josh Kelly for me. I'm tempted to say you'd go Gio.
I'm gonna go Gio.
Flip a coin, Chase. I think Josh Kelly for the Chargers is behind a better offense and will have more opportunity. I just don't think because I haven't seen Joe Mixon be very consistent on a week-to-week basis. He hasn't been somebody to rely on. I don't think Gio is reliable, and that's I think Josh Kelly is the more reliable option between the two, and that's why I'm going that way. But Landon is more risky than I am. I'm more risk-adverse, so that's kind of the way to look at it.
Our first kicker question.
Come on,
Mac.
Flex. Matt Prater or Harrison
we got
Butker.
Matt Prater or Harrison
Who cares?
Butker. No, it's in a dome. It's in a Matt Prater's in a dome versus that outside game in the snow. You go
Absolutely,
Matt
yeah.
Prater,
Snow games.
There's analysis.
Snow games are a no-go for kickers. Yeah. Matt Prater, all day long, baby, all day long. Andre, he's back. Aaron Jones, injury. Who should I start instead? AJ Dillon, Leonard Fournette, or Zach Moss? Okay, those three options are disgusting.
Oh, no.
Absolutely disgusting. I think you have to go AJ Dillon.
Oh, I would probably go
What have
Zach
you seen
Moss.
from Zach Moss to say that he will be relevant?
The same amount I've seen from AJ
Okay,
Dillon.
but if Devin Singletary was out, we would be thrilled to maybe start Zach Moss. More thrilled.
Yeah, but I've seen Zach Moss on the field more often than I've seen AJ Dillon. I know he hasn't done a lot. He hasn't looked great, but they play a better matchup against.
But when
Jets.
AJ Dillon has touched
know
the ball,
this-
he's been fairly decent.
I'm still not going to do it. You can go AJ Dillon on the hopes you get a touchdown and some work off of Jamal Williams. I think Jamal will get the majority of the split. It's going to be maybe, at best case scenario, it's like a 70-30 split in my mind.
When you look at the team's ability to produce on the ground, the Buffalo Bills, outside of Josh Allen, have not been able to produce much from the rushing standpoint, whereas the Green Bay Packers have been fairly solid. So I'm going to go with A.J. Dillon. I know it's gross. All three of those options are gross. I'm not. With the emergence of Ronald Jones with 3 back-to-back 100-yard games, I'm not willing to start Leonard Fournette. He's no more than a touchdown dependent play, and I don't want to bet on that. So yeah, I'm going to go A.J. Dillon. Looks like Landon's going to go Zach Moss, but I think the Packers are the better running team. Koba, do I trade Tom Brady and Will Fuller for Russell Wilson and Yes. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do,
all
Koba.
day long.
Yes,
I
you
would
do.
trade Tom Brady and Will Fuller for Russell Wilson. So the fact that you get a rookie like T. Higgins in the mix back, absolutely.
Great trade question. We do a lot. Mac is the trade guy. I'm more risk adverse sometimes, and when I have a player on my team, I like to keep him warm and tight on my team. But Mac is a great guy to get trade advice from. He is the one that, if he answers to your question on Twitter or YouTube, that's the good advice you get.
I just saw Scott's comment in the chat. You know, when I asked you to stand up and turn around for the Manscaped, he said that's an OnlyFans exclusive.
Hey, I have no shame. I'll start an OnlyFans.
Okay, let's. We got a lot to get to here, Lando. Let's go rapid fire to get through these. JV, PPR, Debo, or Jamal Williams? Jamal Williams for me.
Go Jamal for the floor.
Okay,
for sure.
Stinger Sports, Odell. Oh, he said Odell should get a bigger workload. Absolutely. I'm stuck at flex. Says Aurelio, Cup, or Bernard. That's Cooper Cup for me.
Cooper Cup as well. That's a good play.
Salim, will Justin Jackson play? If not, do I go Bernard? Justin Jackson will play, but I do think you go Bernard in that situation as much as I don't like Bernard. You agree, Lando? Bernard over Justin Jackson?
Yep, I like that play as well. For some reason, we're fading the Chargers backfield right now.
America Man, should I start A.J. Dillon or Curtis Samuel at the flex in a non-PPR, so a standard? Curtis Samuel is still currently questionable, awaiting news on him. Would you go A.J. Dillon in this case?
So that play, I guess A.J. Dillon's a fine play for touchdown upside.
Tia, Matt Samora, welcome into the stream. This is the first time I've seen your name, so happy to have you here. I need 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex, so start 3 Landon in a full PPR. David Johnson, Antonio Gibson, Jerick McKinnon, James White, Jamal Williams, DJ Chark, Juju CD. Holy guacamole.
1 running back, 1 wide receiver, and a flex. So David Johnson, your running back.
I would go Jerick McKinnon. So
Okay.
maybe them both.
Yeah. start. Oh man,
I
Gibson's a
know.
good play too, but yeah, he's got lots of good options. His wide receivers, you go between Chark and CD. Who do
I
you
do like
like?
Chark.
So Chark as your wide receiver, and
DJ,
then
I'm going DJ, McKinnon, and Chark. That's the way I would do it.
okay,
Do you see it differently?
yeah, I don't mind that. If you want an upside play, replace one of those running backs with
Yeah.
CD, but it's only upside because the floor now for CD is lower with Andy Dalton.
I agree. Kendall, I already hit the bell too.
Thanks, man. We really
Each and every
appreciate
week we go live, as well as we're producing 4 to 5 videos on YouTube each week, and the Michael Thomas one that we just did, and if you have Michael Thomas and you're like, what should I do with him, go ahead and drop your questions on there. Maybe you'll get some insight from Landon. He did a really good piece on Michael Thomas. So yeah. Griffin, random question. Where is y'all's favorite place to play fantasy? Found Sleeper this year and have really, really enjoyed it. Do you prefer ESPN, Yahoo, Sleeper, or any other place? I can tell you where I don't like to go, and that's my fantasy league. We have been forced to use it for Scotty Fishbowl this year, which is an amazing tournament. It's put on for charity, and a lot of good things happen because of it, but I really, really dislike my fantasy league.
Sleeper and Yahoo are my favorites.
Yeah, we've been with Sleeper for what, 3-4 years now, Landon?
Yes, our third year.
I think this is third or fourth. Maybe.
Third?
I remember Sleeper when it was just a news platform. You would plug in your lineup from other platforms like ESPN or Yahoo or NFL.com, and it would be like a start-sit tool, and it would be a news platform. But now they've graduated themselves to being a fantasy platform, and I think they do a really good job. It was frustrating at the beginning of the season with their stats provider, with the lagging of stats. So I think Yahoo, in terms of just really basic execution, is solid and a tried and true.
Yeah, it's
the only thing I dislike about Yahoo is that they close their doors for the off season, so it's impossible to run dynasty leagues. So if you're a dynasty platform, Sleeper is definitely the way to go with rookie drafting and just all the customizable features that you guys can have. But Yahoo seems to be a really solid option. So
I highly recommend everyone to start a dynasty league. It's a lot of fun. Even if you want just a 10-team dynasty league, you have a 25-man roster. It gets you more involved, more into fantasy all year round. We do fantasy all year round. We keep up with the YouTube and podcasts all year round. So tune into us. I really love rookies. That's my thing, guys.
You are a rookie
on that.
whore.
Hey, it's a family show.
I mean, look, got to call it the way I see it, Lando. We've got a from Taylor M. I don't know if this is Taylor Muir, but it is. I can't help you out, Taylor. Come on.
Boyd or Kirk, you got to go Boyd, my friend.
Yes, I do still think Christian Kirk is a boom or bust play, no doubt. But I'm not happy with the volume. Taste the Skittles, Justin Jackson or Devin Singletary. Holy guacamole.
Devin's in a great spot, but I mean,
Devin has not done anything for me to be like, Devin Singletary, don't question it. I'm not big on Justin Jackson this week. For some reason we are kind of fading the LAC backfield. Man, I don't know. I have been super disappointed with Devin Singletary.
Go Justin Jackson. Okay. It's the first time we've recommended an LAC back. Let's
Justin
go
Jackson or Jamal Williams from Call Me Bill 13. He's back this week. Jamal Williams.
Go Jamal.
David Montgomery or Will Fuller at the flex in a full PPR. I'm going David Montgomery.
I'm going to go Fuller.
JV, Mike Williams or AJ Green?
Mike Williams.
I think if you need an upside play, you go Williams. It seems like the volume is kind of back for AJ Green, but I don't dislike the Mike Williams play.
Stinger Sports in a PPR league. He's looking at David Johnson or David Montgomery, and I'm gonna go David Johnson in that matchup. I think he's in a great spot.
I would too against Green Bay, who gives up a lot to the fantasy running back. Jamal Williams, Kenyon Drake, or DeAndre Swift. Oh.
What up, Josh? Thanks for coming by, man. If you're still around, we appreciate you. I haven't seen your name yet before, so Thanks for coming in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button on the video. We appreciate you guys for coming in. And Mac, this is a tough one.
I'm just consulting the rankings because I don't love what
I'm going to go DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I mean, the rankings slightly lean Kenyon Drake. Believe what you want about this game. We think it's going to be a shootout, so I think Kenyon Drake, given the volume that he will get, does have a decent chance to be productive. So I would probably go Kenyon Drake, but I don't feel great about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. Kenyon Drake versus Seattle is you're right, a higher rated one. DeAndre Swift, he's still going to split some work with Adrian Peterson, but a report came out that he's going to get an expanded role. Believe that as much as you'd like. Drake, then Swift, then Jamal Williams.
Full PPR, sit one, James White, Jamal Williams, Justin Jackson. I'm sitting Justin Jackson.
Sit Justin Jackson. I would maybe sit James White out of that lineup. Blue Crew.
Okay.
PPR leaning on starting Cup and Higgins, sitting Claypool out, even with the Bear secondary. Yeah, Hey, man, I love that play. You got to start your studs sometimes. I'm not too scared about that Chicago defense. We need to see Jared Goff get the ball out of his hands quickly, and that should lean getting Cup the football early and often. We also like Woods in this matchup. They're back-to-back as fringe wide receiver ones in our rankings.
And this is a big play for Blue Crew. The winner of this matchup takes first place in the league. So the other thing I wanted to say is that Deante Johnson coming back, it does limit the ceiling. It does bring that ceiling down for Chase Claypool. However, we've seen Chase Claypool kind of take some of those, jet sweep or handoffs out of the backfield like Deante Johnson was taking. So he kind of does have that running capability as well. So Claypool, I think, is going to continue to be involved, but Deante Johnson is a primary pass catching option there for Big Ben. Justin Jackson or Devin Singletary. Didn't we do this one? Taste the Skittles?
I think he might have asked it again.
We said Justin Jackson. I still don't feel great about that one. Da dude, James Robinson or Robbie Anderson in a full PPR. Oh, that's a tight one. Do you ride high with Robbie? Do you stay in the flames with Robbie, or do you just go with the safety of James Robinson?
I might stay riding high with Robbie Anderson.
I think if you need a big game, it's Robbie that'll give it to you. I think if you just need a safe, double digit, 10 to 12 point output, I think the volume is there for James Robinson in the rushing game and the passing game. So I'm going to go James Robinson for the floor and Robbie for the ceiling. I think you got to read your matchup on that one. Yeah, Derek Reyes. Good. I got Aaron Jones and Jamal. I just picked him up. Okay. So he's maybe trying to... I can't read this question. I don't know what you're trying to ask, Derek. I don't know if you're saying should you start James Robinson or Jamal Williams? And I see you've also put in you've got Gio with Mixon out. I'm not really sure. Maybe you can rephrase the question for us, Derek. I'm not really sure where you want us to go with that one, brother, if you're still here.
Did you say Singletary or Jamal Williams?
For what question?
Derek had the questions, Devin Singletary or Jamal Williams.
We said Jamal Williams. Yep.
Okay.
Kicks for Mike, Claypool or Keenan Allen in the flex. I'm going Keenan Allen.
Sounds
Gio
good.
or Drake in a PPR. Justin, you got to go Kenyon Drake there.
Kenyon Drake in that.
And look, this is a podcast that has not believed in Kenyon Drake. We don't really think he is, worthy of that draft capital that you spent in the beginning of the year. However, he has the volume. He's been fairly underwhelming with what he's been able to do other than last week, but the volume should be there. This game looks to be a shootout in prime time, so we're going Kenyon Drake for the bigger game. Curtis Samuel or Keelan Cole at wide receiver 2 in a non-PPR. I'm going Keelan Cole there.
Keelan Cole as well. I agree.
Taste the Skittles. Devin Singletary gets like 4 points when Moss is in the game. and Moss gets about 2 points when Devin Singletary's in the game. Like I said, the Buffalo Bills have been really underwhelming on the ground this year. This is a team that primarily wants to run the football, but Josh Allen is the leading rusher for this team, and I don't have much faith in them to get it done. Bobby says, Mac, you know my Ashburn lineup. I think I like what I have here. Any further thoughts? Check it out. All right, let me grab my phone here, Lando. You can get the next question while I'm loading this up.
Okay. So we've got Stinger Sports here. Thanks, boys. I'm just changing the lineup. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming by. Do you think Aaron Jones will play? Sean, Aaron Jones is out for this matchup. About to get set. Claypool, Deante Johnson, or Lamb. Lamb worried about the dumpster fire going on in Dallas. I don't blame you there, Griffin. So I have Deante slightly ahead of... So this is tough. I would still go Lamb out of those guys, but between Claypool and Deante, we know that Claypool is healthy, so it does give him a safe floor. If all those guys and Steeler Nation is fully healthy, Deante, I think, is the best talent right now. Claypool, what you'd be upset with Claypool's game last week if he didn't rush for that touchdown. But they're scripting him some plays. I don't know if a running back would have made that touchdown. He's a special talent. So Claypool is phenomenal. I do think he presents somewhat of a safe floor because Deante, we were big on him a couple weeks ago when he got hurt, and it was just screwed everyone's matchups up.
Well, I'm loading up.
But I do think it's still CeeDee Lamb out of those three guys.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm loading up Bob's team here. Derek Reyes, he had a couple of those comments. So he said Daryl Henderson or Jamal Williams, and that one's tight. That one's really tight. I still think I lean Daryl Henderson there.
Okay, sounds good.
I kind of like. I do believe Jamal Williams will be serviceable, but it's the question of how much will A.J. Dillon be involved, and that's the unknown piece there. Daryl Henderson's been the guy. Malcolm Brown seems to be more of the pass protection running back, and Cam Akers just hasn't been able to get on the field, even though his coach has proclaimed him as getting a higher workload. We're going to preview Bob's team here. He's 6-0. Absolutely crushing it in this league. Unfortunately, I play in this league as well, and I'm 3-3. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, Ronald Jones, DeAndre Swift, Hunter Henry, Mike Davis, Tyler Lockett. He could potentially put in Darrell Henderson over Swift, Rojo, or Mike Davis. He's got Jonathan Taylor on bye. So, I mean, I think this lineup looks pretty locked and loaded.
I think it's good the way it is.
I think you got to ride high on Rojo. I think you need to buy in with the volume that DeAndre Swift is getting, especially in the passing game, and Mike Davis ride that wave until CMC gets back because he's been special. So, yeah, brother, I wouldn't touch anything there, Bob, and I think that Kansas City D in the snow game could lead to a lot of turnovers on both sides of the field. So, yeah, I like what you got there. I think Rye is in some serious trouble.
Rams or Bears DST this week? I like the Rams against Chicago in that same matchup.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Rams win this game. I don't believe the Bears are legit. They've
are as good as they are. Yeah. Now Jared Goff takes a bunch of sacks, but I think they both can take a bunch of sacks. So, you have the Rams and the best pass rusher in the league. I think Foles can go down and throw interceptions, so that's what you want.
Edward Hannafin, new name. Welcome into the stream if you're new. Cooper or Montgomery, full point PPR. You got to go with Amari Cooper.
Sounds good. Sean Tana wants DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett. I'd start them both, my friend. But between those two, I think Tyler Lockett has a safer floor, but DK Metcalf has a much higher ceiling. Our rankings do have DK Metcalf ahead, but Lockett, I think, does not get shadow covered. He can see a lot of targets, but it's DK Metcalf if you want to know straight up.
Evan asked a difficult and somewhat gross question: J.D. McKissick or Chase Edmonds?
Oh man. That's tough. That's really tough. Don't want to be out on Chase Edmonds after one bad week. Before this past week, he had a very safe
Before
floor.
this past game, he actually had more fantasy points than Kenyon Drake did in, significantly less work.
I know. McKissick has shown that he's been solid as well. So I slightly lean Edmonds, but it's very, very close.
I also lean Edmonds in what seems to be the higher scoring game between the two, even though the Dallas-Washington matchup is gross and neither defense is great. I'm going to go with the teams that have the two better offenses, so I'm going to go with the Edmonds play.
Easy. You can definitely add Traquan Smith. I don't know who you're going to drop, but definitely add him.
Tony Bears, decimated at running back. Pick up A.J. Dillon, Rex Burkhead, Frank Gore, or Duke Johnson in a full PPR. Ooh, I mean, Duke Johnson is interesting.
Duke Johnson is interesting. Burkhead has shown that he's pretty solid as well.
Did we update the position of AJ Dillon after we got the news?
Yeah, he should be updated in our rankings. It just depends how high we really want to push him up. He's a touchdown dependent running back, and that should get more work. I'd love to see AJ Dillon do something. I just don't know if he really can do something.
I'm going to go with what I believe, what I know to be true, and I know that the Green Bay Packers give up the most points in the league to the fantasy running back. I also know that Duke Johnson is a very capable pass catcher. So in a full PPR, I'm going to go with the Duke Johnson side over A.J. Dillon because I have seen it, and I'm not taking a shot in the dark.
And because it's a PPR league, I think that's also a good play as well. It goes Johnson, Burkhead, Dillon, Gore in PPR.
Kendall, half PPR, Debo, Juju, or Mike Williams. Pick two. Got Debo and Juju right now.
I think those are the right two plays.
You want Juju over Mike Williams?
I mean, Juju hasn't really shown me anything that I do want him in there, but I'm going to do that just because I'm a sucker for pain.
I'm a sucker for pain. Okay. Chris Godwin, Tyler Lockett, or DK Metcalf. Can you find ways to start them all? That would be great. Do you want to start Lockett and Metcalf? I kind of do in this matchup.
You want to start the two Seattle wide receivers. Now Lockett and Godwin are back to back in our ranks. If you want to pivot and go Godwin, I don't blame you.
I do think you should be able to start all three of them. Two wide receiver spots and a flex or something like that. Derek, maybe tell us what your other options there, because those are studly. Cooper we already got that one for Edward. Jeremy, killing me on who to start in the flex or the second running back spot. He's got Todd Gurley, Justin Jackson, was able to pick up Jamal Williams last night. Right now, he has DJ Moore in the flex, and his wide receiver 2 is CeeDee Lamb, debating on sitting Lamb. Second running back spot. So I would put in Jamal Williams over Justin Jackson, but Gurley's ahead of both of them. And then I would still go DJ Moore over CeeDee Lamb. That's kind of how I view that.
Yep, I like that as
Bobby
well.
says 7-0. That's getting ahead of yourself, but I've seen your matchup. I think you're in good shape. Melvin Gordon or Justin Jackson. For me, that's Melvin Gordon. And then Higgins or Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks has been cooking. T. Higgins has been solid.
Yeah, I think I would go Higgins in that matchup. Higgins has been the wide receiver 12 since week 2. I think I would slightly lean Higgins over.
It'll be interesting to see who gets the Jair Alexander treatment between Cooks and Fuller. Jair Alexander is Pro Football Focus's top-rated cornerback through 6 weeks in the league. So some pretty solid coverage there on the outside, whether it's going to be Cooks or Will Fuller. We'll see. Zach Foster. Yo, what's up, Zach? Welcome back. Zach's been with us each and every week for these streams. He's right now a bit concerned about Justin Jackson's game time decision. Should he roll him out or put Phillip Lindsay in full PPR both afternoon games so I can wait on him? Already have Gio in for Mixon. Melvin Gordon's going to play, and this game is fairly awful with the inclement weather. I don't know if I love Justin Jackson, though, over Phillip Lindsay. What do you think here, Lando?
I think I like Jackson over Lindsay.
I think I lean that way as well. Stinger Sports says he's back, and we're 2 subs away from 450. Sweet. I think we can get there. So if you're with us right now and you haven't subscribed, haven't even considered it, a like goes a long way, as well as clicking that red button. We do really want to get to 450. We're really trying to get there, trying to build this community slowly but surely, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. So click that subscribe button, please, and thanks. PPR. Tight end question. We got Jonnu Smith or TJ Hockenson in the flex, and then
that is TJ.
Oh, no, I disagree. That's Jonnu Smith.
I'm playing TJ, and then I'm playing Robert Woods as well.
I'm going Jonnu Smith, and I'm going Robert Woods. Jonnu Smith has been fantastic. I know he has missed a week or two, but still the tight end 4 on the year. Jonnu Smith is targeted by Ryan Tannehill. He is lined up in the backfield from time to time. He's kind of a gadget piece in this offense, and I really, really, really like Jonnu Smith, so that's where I'm going.
Cool.
Tia, again, pick 2, David Johnson, Antonio Gibson, Jerick McKinnon, Jamal Williams, and James White. I see 2 names that I really like there. And I think we may have already got this one, but David Johnson, Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. I think Gibson presents upside, but his floor is low. We've seen McKissick get in there and take a lot of work, especially in competitive games. So Gibson, although I love him, I think it's a tough spot.
Stinger, I also started the Eagles defense in a couple places this week, and the 11 points on a Thursday night is a really, really nice boost, especially that fumble at the end of the game. Thank you so much, Daniel Jones. You beautiful, beautiful man, you. That bumped it up 3 to 4 points. That was really nice. Call me Bill.
No, call me. Yeah, don't say sorry.
No apologies. Not accepted. Not on this stream. Get out of here if you're going to apologize. We are here to help you out. Go ahead, Lando. You want to read this one out?
Yeah, choose 2 between DJ Moore, DJ Chark, Chase Claypool, Justin Jackson. I feel like he already asked this question, but I think I like the 2 DJs, DJ Moore, DJ Chark.
Are people like giving us the same question just to test if we're giving the same answers? Is that's what's happening here, Lando?
It might be.
Derek, I have Stephon Diggs, Chris Godwin, DK, and Tyler Lockett. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I'm going Diggs, Godwin, DK. But I do think this is a game you can start DK and Tyler. I really think this game's gonna be big for fantasy, but I would go Diggs, Godwin, DK.
Yeah, sure. You can swap Godwin or Lockett, however you like. They're back-to-back in our ranks. If you just want to have a different place, like Lockett has disappointed lately, but so Chris Godwin hasn't really done much either. He got a touchdown, and that's pretty much it. So,
Zach's got it right. Don't apologize except for kicker questions. Yeah, we don't take that junk. We also don't take the spam questions either, Alex. So I know that you're probably new to the stream. The protocol is just come on in, drop your question. Landon and I will work through the comments. We get to each and every one, so no need to spam, but you will have to wait your turn, my man. Happy to have you here, though. Royce Tran, just curious, why are y'all fading the Chargers backfield in a plus matchup?
It's a great question, Royce.
It is, and it's not necessarily that we're fading that backfield. I think just given the other options that we've had to choose from, we kind of like the narrative for the other options. However, if I had to choose between Justin Jackson and Josh Kelly, I'm going Josh Kelly there. I don't disagree. The matchup is decent, but I do see a timeshare between the two of them. It's going to be a heavy dose of one and the other.
And that's where it is, where I do think it's going to be a split coming back. And we just don't have a good sense right now. I know if you want to believe that Justin Jackson's going to get 60 to 70% of the work, that's going to be Justin Jackson, but I can't confidently say that it's going to be that. Josh Kelly was involved with Austin Eckler, and Austin Eckler is a better talent than Justin Jackson. So it's just one of those things where it's going to be a split backfield, and if we can avoid split backfields, we will. And so far, we have been in some of the questions, but lately we've been recommending Justin Jackson.
I also think Jamal Williams has a larger share of the workload than, say, Kelly or Jackson, because I see that more as a 50-50 split, whereas I see Jamal Williams more of like a 70-30 split or an 80-20 split. So that's how I'm seeing it.
And this isn't fading the backfield, but it's Josh Jacobs over Justin Jackson.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Josh Jacobs is high volume, 20-plus touches a game. You can't shy away from that. He has no competition. So, yeah, Josh Jacobs. Alex, I would go Jerick McKinnon over Le'Veon Bell. I think Le'Veon Bell, if you're starting him this week, you're buying into the hype. You're buying into the name of the past. I mean, I see this as Clyde's backfield, and Jerick McKinnon with Tevin Coleman on IR for the next 3 weeks, with Tevin Coleman not on the field, it's the Jerick McKinnon show in one of the best rushing offenses in the league.
Love it. I think Jerick McKinnon's in a great spot. Like you said, best zone running team going, and I'm hoping for McKinnon as well. I want to see with Bell. I'm not sure how much Bell is going to get involved yet. So you gotta wait. Maybe he's going to be great, and I still don't think you're going to regret that option because you have McKinnon as your other choice.
And Bill goes, definitely not re-asking for any other reasons. Maybe I missed the original answer. It's all good. But that would be funny if someone was asking, similar questions to see, are they going to pivot? Are they going to be consistent? I could see it happening.
Maybe that's
testing us. I mean, look, almost 2 hours live streaming with a bajillion questions it's certainly possible to switch a tune every now and then. But it's also good to ask those questions because maybe breaking news does dictate what we would say. Who do we have? Peyton Rife. Peyton Rife, welcome into the stream. Haven't seen the name before. Pick 3 in a full PPR: Tyler Lockett, Kenny Golladay, Robert Woods, or Cole Beasley. So essentially we're sitting one, Landon. And you know who it is. Tell them who to...
And we're going to sit Cole Beasley.
We are going to sit.
We mentioned him earlier in the stream that he's just such a safe play, especially with John Brown out. But you have a ton of options that have immense upside with your other plays. Kenny Galladay's in a phenomenal spot. And Cole Beasley, it's just... You'd feel so silly starting Cole Beasley and him having a dud game. You're like, because of course he does.
You're trying to be fancy. You're trying to line up Tinker, and it just, you can't go down that road. Hey, 450 subs, Lando. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. You guys are what makes this happen. Next goal will be 500. We're trying to build this community. It's all about you guys. The more people we have, the stronger it's going to be. And we really, really appreciate that. Alex, no problem on the spam. We understand you're new. Welcome in, though. Open arms. We're happy to have you. And
hey, the big guys, you need to ask 12 times, 20 times.
Yeah.
And they still don't get to your question.
We get through it every single week, even though we're growing. And I mean, I'd love to know how many comments. There's got to be over 300, I think, in here. So we've gotten to them all so far. JP, DeAndre Swift, Mike Evans, or DJ Moore in a half PPR.
Boy, oh boy. Mike Evans has been disappointing.
Not
lately.
If you're catching 2-yard touchdown passes.
And if that's what you have to rely on, that might be tough.
He's a touchdown dependent play right now for me. Mike Evans is. I would go DJ Moore here
over DeAndre Swift. Yeah.
Would you as well?
All right, DJ Moore it is.
Don't get me wrong. Mike Evans could have a touchdown or two, but I think that's what you need for him to be relevant. If he doesn't catch that touchdown, it could be a down game.
Yep.
Zach, he'll roll out JJ. Love the stream. You guys are great at getting all the questions answered. Yeah, we try. It's what sets us apart from the big guys, and you jump over to see Mike right now. We love Mike. He's even been on the show with us for our 100th episode. You can get that video on our YouTube, friend of the show. But Mike gets spammed with thousands of questions, and we understand he's not able to get them all. We can, and that's kind of something we can leverage right now. So we're happy to do this for you guys. Derek Reyes, Boston Scott did me justice on Monday. If you had the courage, or Thursday, if you had the courage to start Boston Scott, you did really well, as well as Richard Rodgers. 85 yards receiving. That's more than Zach Ertz in like the last month.
Yes, last year. Justin Barker coming in. What up, Justin? It's a half PPR league. Thanks for coming in. Subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate you. Bernard, Dylan, Cooks, David Montgomery.
Half PPR. So this is for the flex position. It would be between Brandon Cooks and David Montgomery for me. I think for the safety, I'm going David Montgomery.
Montgomery for the
Cooks
safety,
for the ceiling.
Cooks for the ceiling. And then Bernard if you're feeling spicy.
JP, Bernard or Monty. I'd go Gio. His floor is like 10 points. I don't disagree with that. I think Montgomery's the better play, though.
Yeah, I think they both have a safe floor based on the volume that Montgomery gets. Montgomery is one of those just a guys. He's a jag. Like he hasn't shown anything special, but he gets the work at 3.4 yards per carry. And that's it. Gio Bernard will be in the passing game. It might be a bad game script. He's also just a guy, but he's been in the league. He's a veteran. He's been in the league for a long time. I do think Joe Burrow checks down a ton to him, and they're very similar plays. Bernard, I think, has more upside though.
Peyton's been here before. Just been a couple weeks since he's been back. So welcome back. Sorry, didn't remember the name, but.
Terrible memory. I knew that. I recognized Peyton. Come on, man.
Come on, Lando. Don't you dare. Don't you dare besmirch me. Lindsay or Bell in a PPR, Breeze or Newton. I would go Drew Brees. And oh man. I'm gonna go Bell here. I'm gonna go with the better offense. Better offense. I don't believe in Le'Veon Bell, but in a snowy game with Melvin Gordon starting, I don't really love the ceiling for Phillip Lindsay, so I could see Bell getting some work in maybe a runaway game or a high-scoring game.
Breeze finds a way to always be
relevant.
Seems to be relevant all the time. I would probably go Newton based on the floor. I think they bounced back after a bad showing last week.
My buddy Matt was saying that there's a crazy stat right now about Bill Belichick against the spread after a loss. I'm going to see if I can find it. The Patriots, as a Bill Belichick-led team, are 41-16 against the spread after a loss. 41-16. I made the argument that I don't think the Patriots win this game. I don't even know if they cover, just given that the team is so different. The defense is not as good. If you were a betting man, would you put money on the Patriots to cover today?
Yeah, for sure I would if I was a betting man. I don't do that. I just do DraftKings.
I know you do. Seth, who at the flex? Melvin Gordon, Laviska Shenault, or Michael Gallup? I'm going Melvin Gordon still.
Floor for Gordon, ceiling for Shenault.
Yeah. Alex, Stafford or Tannehill? That's actually a really good question.
I think he asked that like early in the show.
We had a very similar question. There was a third quarterback in there as well.
Yeah, I would go Stafford on the better matchup, even though Tannehill's been on fire.
Yeah, I'm going to stay in the flames with Tannehill for the higher potential score.
Sorry about the confusion.
Hey, we have differences of opinion sometimes, Landa. That's what make the world go round, you know?
2 questions. Gibson or Bernard, and Gallup, Godwin, or DJ Moore? I would go Antonio Gibson.
And Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin.
Absolutely.
Did we go DJ Moore in a similar question? And anyways, hard to say.
And look, DJ Moore's a solid spot. But I mean, Chris Godwin is the best talent here. Yards after catch guy. He's back on the field and healthy. We need him to be successful. So I've got a lot of faith that Chris Godwin will get it done for you this week. And I understand the appeal right now with Gio Bernard. I haven't felt the warm and fuzzies for Joe Mixon in this offense. I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line can create. And this has been a constant struggle for Joe Mixon behind this team. And I don't know if Gio Bernard can be reliable. So I'm going to go with Antonio Gibson.
So, Mac, we have a couple more questions here, but I kind of want to troll Scott for a couple minutes before game time. His opponent is tough at running back. I could trade his opponent in a big league, Antonio Gibson, to give him a better chance of winning. Then I'm in the same division. I could maybe sneak ahead of Scott. But I get Joe Mixon in a matchup where he's been hurt. He could be out for 3 weeks. What should I do, Mac?
Oh, man.
I just got to troll Scott. I can stick with what I have and keep Antonio Gibson and, just hang on to him. But do I get Mixon, the big name, but he's probably out for 3 weeks?
I think if you said at the beginning of the season you can trade me Antonio Gibson for Joe Mixon in a couple weeks, you'd go, okay. Like you'd laugh.
Right?
I don't know, man. I think
and potentially Scott could lose.
Is this a dynasty league or just a redraft league?
This is a keeper league. Gibson's a keeper option.
Do you need Antonio Gibson this week to get a win?
I've got Hunt and Swift in my starting lineup.
So Gibson is not in your starting lineup.
He's not in my starting lineup. I'm going to accept the trade right now. Mixon for Gibson.
Scotty's coming back. He's saying, take Joe Mixon, Landon. Grab that grenade. I like it. Derek, what do you guys think of Justin Herbert or Justin Herbert? I picked him up because Lamar Jackson is on bye. Yeah, I think Justin Herbert's a great spot start this week. I really like Justin Herbert. Mobility, big playability, big arm, has not made the typical rookie mistakes so far in his short career. So yeah, I do have some confidence Justin Herbert can. He's probably been a player that's impressed me the most from a rookie standpoint. I really didn't believe in him coming out of Oregon, and what he's been able to do so far. I mean, Tyrod Taylor was not an easy obstacle to overcome. Joking, that was pure sarcasm. We've seen Baker overcome Tyrod Taylor and many others. So yeah, it's I'm not surprised. Following the waves, need help. Start 3: Tyler Boyd, Deebo Samuel, DJ Moore, DJ Chark, Tim Patrick, Adam Humphries. Wow. Again, we're going with the DJs. DJ Moore, DJ Chark, and it's between Tyler Boyd and Deebo Samuel. What do you like?
Tyler Boyd and Deebo Samuel. I would go Tyler Boyd.
Okay, I'll let you make that decision. Kicks my game. Pick 2: Todd Gurley, Robert Woods, Gibson, and Drake. Wow. Drake and Robert Woods.
I like it. Drake and Robert Woods. I have to pick 2 between Clyde, Edwards-Helaire, Robinson, Justin Jackson, or Jamal Williams. I think I go Clyde, Edwards-Helaire, and James Robinson in that matchup. Although Jackson is going to be okay, Jamal Williams is in a great spot. I still like the opportunity that Clyde and James Robinson is getting.
Alex, we don't do survivor questions. We tend to just keep it fantasy relevant. I don't want to be the reason that you lose your survivor pool. They are not my forte. I don't seem to do well in them, so you're not looking at the right guy for that one. Wish I could help you out, though. It's in a PPR, so I would still stay with the same answers, Clyde and James Robinson, especially because it's a PPR. Both of them get pass-catching work, especially James Robinson. Sawyer Hebs? Yeah, double B.
Sawyer Hebs. Jamal Williams or Swift? I'm going Jamal Williams. I'm going Swift.
You almost rolled with that J. Will real quick.
I almost did.
All right, I'll follow you on that one. I'll go DeAndre. In a 4.
Calvin Ridley. I don't know.
In a 4-team league? Seth, we need to have a chat, brother.
I hope you have like $100 on the line.
I've never been so thrown off before. In a 4-team league? What do you got? Like, is it you, your bro, your cousin, and your dad?
He's got 4. It's only him, just 4 times.
Yeah.
Leagues,
this was like a sleeper draft turned into a league.
Mock draft.
I go DK. Sure. Cool. Good luck.
Yeah.
Sam 8. Help. Jamal Williams or Ronald Jones? You gotta stick with Ronald Jones. And this is coming from a guy who
yeah.
lives and breathes by the Green Bay Packers. But, dude, you got to go Ronald Jones. Stay in the Flames.
Yeah. Sam 8 is used to the Mike Wright show.
KB, we've got we've got another kicker. That's 2 kicker questions today. 2. You got to go with my protege, man.
Kenny Golladay or
you got to go with
Diggs?
You got to go with the Asian sensation, Young Ho Koo. Young Wei Koo. Yeah, that's my boy.
I would go it's tough. I would go Stephon Diggs over Golladay, but it's close. I'm expecting Golladay to have a big match, a big week.
Why are people down on Josh Jacobs, Landon?
He hasn't really done much lately.
Are you sure? I think Josh Jacobs has been great.
I mean, it doesn't feel. I don't have Jacobs on any of my teams.
Let me pull up his game.
Except for,
log here.
In our Scott Fishbowl.
Yeah, and we need to set that up, by the way. We're gonna take a couple more questions, and then we're gonna log off in about a minute to set our own lineup.
Against Kansas City, had a big game, but I guess it's been. You're right. He had a big game against Kansas City. Tampa Bay has a good defense, but you still got to go with the volume.
Yeah, I mean the what I like about Josh Jacobs, even though he hasn't overly impressed you, the volume is there for him. He has no competition in the backfield. They feature him over and over and over again. Just looking at his carry count here, we have 25 attempts, 27 attempts, 16, 15, 23. The guy touches the ball a lot, and when you sprinkle in those 4 to 6 targets he gets, it's good news. The opportunity is there for Josh Jacobs. You want that, so you need to continue to have that in your lineup. Volume is king in fantasy football, so stick with Josh Jacobs. Don't stray away. Landon, let's pick a couple more to get to, and then we are going to have to shut it down.
Yeah, we got to head off here, guys.
Clint Cole, help wanted Deante Johnson or CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb there.
Even in a tough Dalton-led team, CeeDee Lamb he commands targets. He's the best rookie wide receiver in the league, despite what Justin Jefferson owners tell you.
We're going to go into overtime here, Landon. We're going to cut it off at Nick, the Knicks fan. That'll be the last question we get to. We're going to go rapid fire down the list. If you guys are here at the last minute here, you're looking for that last minute start sit, leave a like for us. Consider subscribing, and we're going to do this as quick as we can. Big W, start Claypool or Jamal Williams? Claypool or Jamal Williams, Lando. We're in the 2-minute drill here.
Claypool,
Let's go.
Claypool.
Okay, Claypool. Josh Jacobs is going against the Bucks. Doesn't matter. Josh Jacobs has the volume. You have to start him. Clint Pohl. People are worried about the Bucks. Okay, gotcha. Is Gibson a better flex move than DJ Moore, or will DJ Moore finally have a good week? I mean, DJ Moore has had multiple good weeks.
Yeah, go DJ Moore. Gibson is a great spot. Usually running backs have a good safe floor. Gibson is being spelled by McKissick.
Flex position, Singletary, Kirk, or Keelan Cole. I think you got to go with the upside of Christian Kirk there.
And I would go Singletary for the floor.
Tyler Boyd or Robbie Anderson. Quick, please answer. Yep, go Crazy TV. We've seen you before. Welcome back. I would go Robbie Anderson there to stay in the Flames.
Okay, sorry, I would go Tyler Boyd.
Nick the Knicks fan, start OBJ, Daryl Henderson, or DJ Moore. I would go DJ Moore.
I would go OBJ.
Do you trust Le'Veon Bell this week? No, I don't. I want to see how that backfield plays out. I do think it's Clyde's backfield, probably to a 70-30, 80-20 split.
T. Higgins or Godwin. I would go Godwin, even though T. Higgins.
And we'll end it off with easy. Our poster child, DJ Moore or Claypool in a full PPR. DJ Moore is my answer.
DJ Moore. We ended how we how we started.
Look, we appreciate you guys so much for being here. We have 8 minutes now to set our own personal lineups. I play in 11 leagues, so that's going to be rapid fire. If you have Aaron Jones this week, again, he is not playing. He was declared out about an hour ago. So Jamal Williams, A.J. Dillon are some decent flex plays. We appreciate all your questions, and go ahead and click that like button. Consider subscribing. We hit our 450 subscriber goal. We're trying to build this community and get to you guys each and every single week. We do this each and every week, so come on back next week. Nate Zucker, Josh Jacobs, or AJ Brown at the flex in a standard league. I'm going Josh Jacobs still over AJ Brown.
I'm going
AJ Brown. Okay. Wow. The love for Josh Jacobs is different between you and I.
Jamal Williams over Gio.
Yes, Jamal Williams over Gio. And again, thanks again to Manscaped for supporting the show. Go to manscaped.com and use the promo code SNAP20 to save 20% off and get free shipping. They also have a great deal right now where you get a $50 leather toiletry bag in for free, as well as a pair of boxer briefs. So again, manscaped.com, snap code 20. We'll see you guys next week. Appreciate you guys being here. And thanks for an amazing stream. Good luck this week. We'll see ya.